Is Ash gonna win the Alolan League? Is he finally gonna be a Pokemon Master? Wow! There's a lot happening in the world of Pokemon. Obviously, in Pokemon Go, Gen 5 is gonna come out on September 16th from 1 p.m. Pacific time. There's also the Ultra Bonus event which is going on as well. And then Turtwig Community Day is coming up pretty shortly. But there's also a lot happening in the Pokemon anime. So Ash is actually battling in the Alolan League finals against one of his rivals, Gladion, from the Alolan region. And the finals has actually started, and Ash at this point has the upper hand. And today, which is the 15th of September, is going to be probably the day when we get to know if Ash is actually the champion. I mean, think about it. It's something that I've been watching Pokemon ever since I was a kid. I mean, I watched Pokemon since like 2000 or something. And ever since I watched, every time I just watch a series, I wait for the league. And then I wait to see if Ash wins, because back in the day, we really didn't have YouTube or stuff like that. So you obviously had to wait for, the show to come on TV. And, I just used to wait and wait and wait. And then ended up being disappointed each and every time because Ash never really won any of the leagues. But is he actually going to win this one? I mean, the trailer shows as if he might be the champion. The trailer for the new episode, which is going to come out today. So in the Japanese version of the episode, which was released on September 8th, titled The Finals, The Strongest Rival Showdown, which by the way is a really cool title because that's like, it sounds so amazing. I mean, it shows that there's something special that's in store. Ash has already in this episode, Ash has already started his battle with his rival, Gladion, and as is tradition, Ash's mom, Delia, Mimey, and Professor Oak have come to the stadium to watch the battle. Professor Kukui is the referee for this battle. It's a 3-on-3 battle, and actually, Gladion starts off by calling his Silvally, and Ash uses Melmetal. These two have like a pretty intense battle, and then Ash recalls his Melmetal and sends out Pikachu, which then knocks out Silvally, and then Gladion sends out his Lycanroc, which then during the course of its battle with Pikachu it's discovered that it's not exactly a Lycanroc, but it's a Zoroark, which kind of surprises everyone. And this is where the battle stands right now in terms of pure numbers. Gladion has already lost one of his Pokemon, which is Silvally. He's still got 2 Pokemon left, and Ash still has all 3 of his Pokemon left. So in terms of numbers, you can say at this point that Ash has the advantage, but numbers alone can't say anything because this is the exact same way the Kalos League panned out as well. We really thought then that Ash would be the champion because when he was battling against Talan, he had 3 Pokemon left, out of which 2 of them hadn't even battled, and even had Ash Greninja, as opposed to Alan, who only had 2 Pokemon left, and both of them had battled. So even then, Alan went on to become the champion. So you never know with the Pokemon anime, are they really actually going to make Ash win? And if Ash wins, then what happens now? Because if he wins, he pretty much becomes a Pokemon Master. What happens to the future of the anime? Lots of question marks here, but certainly very, very exciting. And yeah, I mean, super excited to see how like the episode pans out. But honestly, what do I think of this thing? I hate to be pessimistic as much as I want Ash to win because I've been sort of rooting for him ever since I was a kid for like the last 20 years or so. But personally, I think Ash is still not going to win the league because that's just how it's been as far as the tradition is concerned of the Pokemon anime, because they still need to keep the story going. Because if you need to keep the Pokemon franchise running and the Pokemon anime running as well, it's important that Ash is still chasing that dream of being a Pokemon Master. And now that the Galar region, which has been announced, which is Pokemon Sword and Shield, and obviously there's going to be the anime for that as well, it's very unlikely that Ash would have already won the Alolan League and become a Pokemon Master. It's even though we all want it to happen, it kind of feels a little weird because you begin to think, okay, what next? And I think it's for that reason. I still think it's going to be a very, very close match. It's going to go down right till the wire, like we saw in the Carlos League as well. But unfortunately, I think Ash might just fall just short. This is again purely my opinion, my speculation. I have no idea what's going to happen. And if Ash wins, I'd love to be proven wrong as well. Because like I said, I've been rooting for him ever since I was a kid. But even if it doesn't happen, hey, we're all used to it, right? I think we'll just wait for the Galar region, hopefully. We'll hope that he wins it there, but I think for the sake of the continuity of the anime and just looking at how Pokemon as a franchise has functioned over the years, I just think that this is Ash winning the league is kind of unlikely to happen. Obviously, he did win the Orange League, but that was just like a one-on-one battle, wasn't it? It wasn't like a league as such. Obviously, he won the trophy towards the end. He had a 6-on-6 battle. That was a pretty high-intensity battle. And then obviously he conquered the Battle Frontier as well, but he hasn't exactly won a league in any region, like a proper tournament format league, which is his ultimate dream. But I don't know, man. It's pretty tricky, but this is my opinion. Also, another reason why I say this is because even in the Kalos region, I think when Ash actually embarked on his journey to the Kalos region in Pokemon XY and XYZ, which in my opinion is arguably the greatest version of the Pokemon anime. It was like the greatest season of the Pokemon anime. And I think Kalos is the best of all the Pokemon regions, and simply the way the story panned out, the way the story unfolded, the characters like Serena, Greninja, Ash combining with Greninja, sort of becoming one, having this bond phenomenon and everything, and then sort of going on to sort of save the world of sorts. And then looking at all that, I mean, it all led to the fact that Ash was actually going to win in that series, actually, because everything was just so directed towards that. It was just so high intensity. Everything was so perfect. Ash had this cool personality, and we were like almost convinced, like everything was just so amazing about XY and XYZ that he probably should have gone on to win that, and he fell just short even there. So, and Sun and Moon, in terms of the anime and the storyline, is definitely not as good as XYZ was. In fact, no season of the anime has been as good as the XYZ. Definitely not Sun and Moon. But so from that perspective, in terms of the storyline and everything, it doesn't. The way Sun and Moon started off, like in a very low-key, a holiday kind of setup, and then for it to culminate here, it does seem unlikely, but you never know. Maybe they're trying to spring a surprise and sort of make it happen when people expect it to happen the least, because people at this point, now that 7 seasons are pretty much going to be done, people have probably given up hopes on Ash, and then maybe the writers and the creators want to surprise us by making Ash win. You never know. Again, these are all speculations. I guess we'll have to wait for a few more hours to actually find out what happens, but definitely exciting times ahead, and I think this is going to be a revolutionary moment for the entire Pokemon franchise as a whole, not just the anime, but the whole Pokemon franchise, because the whole Pokemon franchise, in my opinion, revolves around Ash and his journey, because that's like the thing that we all relate to, and that's one of the reasons why I started playing Pokemon Go. It's one of the reasons why I play the main series games. It's one of the reasons why I bought like all the Pokemon merchandise when I was a kid, the Pokemon cards that we used to play as well. So everything leads into that, and I think Ash is like the center of the Pokemon universe, so you never know what's going to happen. It's probably going to be a revolutionary moment, but we'll have to wait and find out. But until then, thank you for watching and stay tuned. Peace.